All right, so we're now going to go through the female reproductive model. Here it is intact. The intact part is nice because we can see the urogenital diaphragm right here, but I'm going to show most of the features with that portion removed. Again, there were a few non-reproductive things on your list. We had rectum and anus, which were included on your list. There was also a number of bladder features on your list, but I'm not going to go through those because they can be found on last week's video. So we'll begin sort of at the top here with the uterus. The uterus is divided into three layers. We have the parametrium on the outside, the myometrium, or the muscle wall, and then the endometrium, which is the lining on the inside up against the uterine cavity. There are a couple ligaments coming off the uterus. Here we can see the uterosacral ligament, which is this subtle ridge that we see sort of at the back top end of the uterus. We can also see, if we go in here, there's two tubes. The tube that's slightly more to the back is the ovarian ligament. You also may find it in books as the uteroovarian ligament. Now the uterus has pockets, if you want to call them that, on either side. If we go to the back, this pocket between the uterus and the rectum is the uterorectal. That's not right. It's not uterorectal, is it? It's rectouterine pouch. So here's our rectouterine pouch, and if we go to the front, we have the vesicouterine pouch between the uterus and the bladder that we can see right here. Coming to the front of the uterus, we see here the round ligament coming forward towards the parietal peritoneum that we see here. If we go back to our uterus, here, separating the vaginal cavity from the uterus, we find our cervix. There's a cervical canal, the little tube that's leading, that ends in the cervical os, this little opening. The cervix also creates some pockets of sorts. At the back, this pocket that my fingernail just wedged into is the posterior fornix, and at the front, we have the anterior fornix. So here again we have the vaginal canal in the general region of the vagina. If we go to the vaginal orifice, or opening of the vagina, we can now see the labia minora and the labia majora, or labia minus and majus, as your book has them labeled. Here we can see the clitoris embedded in the anterior wall. We have the pubic symphysis, or the pubis, the bone that we see right here, and the mons pubis is this fat pad of sorts that's sitting right in front in this particular region. I think that covers